This clip is brought to you by SaveWithConrad.com. Next up, a match that people are still talking about. This is a loaded show. Edge pins Mick Foley in a hardcore match in 14 minutes and 37 seconds. People still talk about the one spot, but they do everything. Meltzer would say Foley took abuse early with a hard cookie sheet and broiler pan shots to the head, followed by a drop kick of a sign into his face. Since this stuff hasn't been done here much of late, it wasn't boring comedy like they had turned it into before. Edge speared Foley, but then sold it because Foley took off his flannel shirt and revealed he had hidden barbed wire underneath. Foley whipped him with the barbed wire and then got a barbed wire bat that he had hidden under the ring steps. Lita ran in and jumped on Foley's back. With Lita on his back, he ran towards Edge and did his running clothesline spot where all three go over the top rope together, and she landed right on her butt, which I suppose is better than landing right on her head. Foley used the neck breaker on the entrance ramp. Edge would hip toss Foley into the ring steps, and he's going to take a hard bump on his hip here. And then he whips Foley into the steps and took a header. And then Edge pulled the table, set it up near the ring. He whips Foley on the entrance ramp and he hits his head on the grating pretty hard. And he starts to pour lighter fluid on Foley. We know what this is teasing. My goodness. Edge DDTs Foley on a broiler pan after Lita had him distracted. And then Edge hits Foley in the chest and the back with that barbed wire bat and tears up his head with it, gives him a face buster on it. Foley then pours thumbtacks out and gives Edge a back suplex onto thumbtacks. So now Edge has tacks sticking all in his back. Foley pulls out Mr. Sacco, but wraps him in barbed wire and puts both Lita and Edge in the claw. Lita is now bleeding from the mouth, and the finish would see Foley pour the lighter fluid on the table. Lita hits Foley in the knees with that barbed wire bat, and now Lita has lit the table on fire, and Edge spears Foley, who's on the apron. Both go through the flaming table, and thankfully that's it. Edge wins. The fans would all give Foley a standing ovation after the match, and I think it's now regarded as Mick Foley's Wrestlemania moment. But my God, fire at a WrestleMania, thumbtacks at a WrestleMania. This is unbelievable.
Hated it.
I know you do. I can't believe it happened. I can't believe Vince allowed it, but the spectacle of this, it's unbelievable.
The spectacle and the amount of effort put into it and the performance by everyone involved was by far, no one can knock that. No one can say that wasn't an unbelievable performance by every single person involved. I just, you know me, I'm not a fan of the thumbtacks. I'm not a fan. I was fucking fire. Oh boy, I light something on fire, it crashed through it, it goes out. I not my cup of tea.
Right.
Not my cup of tea. Not something that I'm a big fan of. You watch it sometimes, you go, holy shit, crash and burn. I always am concerned for the safety of the talent involved, and watching it, made me cringe all over again. But two guys that put when you talk about putting everything on the line, these guys put everything on the line and put their bodies through unbelievable punishment to deliver a spectacle that will go down, as one of those matches that people will always bring up and recall. Again, it's just not my cup of tea. And there's sometimes as I get older that I appreciate it less.
What did Foley think?
I think that Foley and Edge both loved it. I think that they were very happy with it, and they should have been proud of it. I mean, they left their heart and soul out there.
When they come back through the curtain after a match like that, we're in the middle of a WrestleMania, but boy, this one still stands out. People are still talking about it to this day, but it's not the main event, and it's not exactly everyone's cup of tea. Is this a standing ovation in Gorilla? Does Vince take off?
No idea.
Okay.
Yeah. No idea. I really don't remember. I remember everybody was more concerned for their well-being than anything, and they may have. It was that kind of a match that people appreciate what they did for the business.
What'd you think of Lita bleeding from the mouth?
It was Hollywood shit. It
looked cool though, considering the barbed wire Sacco thing, right? It's a nice little payoff, but it is female violence with blood.
Yeah, and not a fan of it at all.
What about Edge here as a performer? Edge had just beaten John Cena for the world title in January. Now he's got this big WrestleMania moment with Foley and fucking Fire. This is when Edge is really hitting his stride as a performer. He has really leveled his game up, and now it is undeniable Edge is a top guy.
I thought it was undeniable even before this. I think that Edge had really come into his own and doing this in some ways, people talk about this was Edge's moment and really did him. I think that in some ways Edge did Mick just as much of a favor in this match as anything.
So you think it's Edge doing Mick a favor to give him the WrestleMania moment more so than Mick helping make Edge?
I think it was both.
Yeah.
I think this was a classic example of both were accomplished.
There you go. Hey, it's Conrad Thompson. Thanks for checking out the podcast here on YouTube. Be sure to hit the subscribe button and the notifications bell so you get a notice anytime we upload some new content. And go save yourself some money right now. If you're in a 30-year loan or you have credit card debt, it's not a matter of if I can save you money. It's a matter of how much. Find out right now for free at SaveWithConrad.com.